In JavaScript, the reduce method helps you go through all the items in an array and combine them into one final result. You combine them by using a special function. This special function is called for each element of the array and performs some actions. Finally, you get one single value as the result of all these actions. It's like doing a bunch of steps and getting one answer at the end. Let's understand this with the help of an example. Let's say we have an array and we call reduce on this array. When we call reduce, we pass a special function as parameter to it. This special function takes two parameters. The first one is reduced value, which we will get to know in a while. The other one is the element taken from the array. Let's iterate the working of reduce on an array with 3 elements, 1, 2, and 3. When we call the reduce, it in turn calls the special function and passes it two values, 0 and 1. 0 is the initial value that we can pass to the reduce. We will see how we can do that. 1 is the first element taken from the array. Special function performs the actions it requires and returns a value. Let's assume that our special function only adds the reduced value and array element and returns the sum. When the first call to the special function returns, reduce makes another call to the special function and again passes two values as parameter. The first value is the value returned by the first call to the special function. And the second value is the second element of the array. Special function sums the values and returns 3. Reduce makes third call to the special function, passes the returned value and third element from the array as parameters. Special function sums the values and returns 6. Since all the elements in the array have been processed, the reduce function returns. It returns 6 as the final result. Let's see this in action now. Here, we have an array with 5 integers and we are calling reduce on this array. As explained before, we pass an arrow function as parameter to reduce function as our special function. We also note that this function takes two parameters. Reduced value and an element from the array. Let's call it number. We have not yet provided any default value for the reduced value. Let's use template string to output values received in our function. We see that reduce sends the first value of the array as initial value for the reduced value parameter. The iteration on the array element starts from the second element of the array. Also, we have not returned any value from our special function, so reduced value received undefined in subsequent calls. If we return reduced value, we will receive 1 in each subsequent call. Let's now pass the initial value for reduced value parameter. We can pass it as the second parameter of the reduce function. Let's pass -1 for now. When we see the values of reduced value and number on console, we see that reduce starts iterating the array from 0th index instead of index 1. And reduced value receives -1 in the first callback. Now, if we want to get the sum of all elements of the array, we can simply return the of sum the reduced value and number. In each iteration, the previous sum will be received in the reduced value and we can sum the next number in it. When the array iteration will complete, we will get the final sum as a return value of the reduce function. Since we passed -1 as initial value for the reduced value, we are getting incorrect sum. Let's make it 0 to get the exact sum. We can also skip this parameter to get the same result. Let's do one more exercise of using reduce. Let's find maximum number in the numbers array. Let's rename reduced value to max so far as it will convey the correct meaning of its usage. And we will not provide any initial value, so, in the first callback, we will receive 1 in the max so far. Also, the variable number will receive 2 in the first callback. To find the maximum, we will have to make a check which will compare the max so far with the next number received in the number. If the number received in this callback is greater than the max so far, we will return the number and it will become max so far in the next callback. Otherwise, we will simply return max so far. We know we can write this condition in the form of ternary operator to make the code more readable. Since, now, there is only one line of code inside the function body, we can remove the brackets. We can also remove the return keyword. When the array iteration will complete, reduce function will return the final reduced value, which will be the maximum according to our code. We can store it in the maximum value and output it to the console. We can change a few values in the array to confirm the code functionality. Hope you liked the content. Please like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon to support our channel. Thanks for being part of our journey.